Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah. Yeah, so yesterday the topic is about um, open heart, something to open heart. So I think from Buddhist point of view, I think the most open-hearted person is those of the Bodhisattvas. And that is very much due to the heart of bodhicitta in relation to their wisdom, in relation to their attitude, is, I would say, most accommodating to all beings in whatever manners and whatever ways that they relate to you. You have the ability to accommodate them peacefully in most, understanding, most acceptance. And and carrying all the skillful means to communicate with the rest of the other sentient beings. So from that point of view, the heart that is the most open is the bodhicitta heart. So I would understand like that. From Buddhist practice, then the Bodhisattvas would understand as the example for us to how to be open-hearted. Not only in a good time, but also in difficult time. The Bodhisattvas, they are the most gentle people handling difficult people, difficult situations, because of the nature of their heart, which is most acceptance, most understanding. So I think that is if you need to summarize the yesterday topic in few words, I would say like that. So if we wish to be open-hearted person, then our aspiration, our examples are the Bodhisattvas. The attitude that we wish to develop to be just like them is the bodhicitta. So now today's subject, I think, is about loving kindness, compassion, and overcoming the distractions of ego. So, so So the teaching that I'm going to go through, which is the continuation of the yesterday's text, which is the adverses of thought transformation by Geshe Langri Kadamba Geshe Langri Thangba. So the first verse that we have just discussed yesterday, and the very much very much like the prologue of the text that we have discussed yesterday, is very much focused on bodhicitta, and that is as just mentioned before, that really highlight the theme of yesterday's topic. And today's teaching, the following verses, it is the illustrations of the practice of love, compassion, kindness, and the following verses, 7 verses, are very much the practice or the attitude or the wisdom that can able to manifest when we bring down the confidence of our ego, when we bring down the strength of our ego, without bringing down the ego-centered mind. There's no way we can able to practice the verses that we're going to discuss now. It's not possible. Without bringing down the ego, we won't able to express genuine sense of kindness, genuine love and compassion towards others. So ego is the main obstacle. So again, the following verses I think will highlight today's the subject to be talked about. So I will just read the verse, the first, in case some individuals miss yesterday's class. I will not go through the commentary detail. I think you already have the text. So the first verse: with a heartfelt desire and determination to attain enlightenment for the welfare of all living beings, who are more precious than wish-fulfilling jewel, for accomplishing the supreme goal, may I always cherish them and hold them dear. So the reason for, holding rest of the numberless sentient being dear and cherishing them with so much, so much meaning, so much purpose, and those purposes are they are temporary benefits for yourself, for others, which would bring a lot of peace and harmony. Ultimate benefit of cherishing others and holding others dear in your heart helps to, actualize bodhicitta, help to actualize the state of bodhisattva that we just mentioned before, help to actualize Buddhahood. Without sentient being, without caring for sentient being, Buddhahood won't be possible. So therefore, sentient beings are more precious than the conventional precious gems that brings, fulfilling of our material wishes, like such as diamond, such as sapphire, gold, and those very expensive material objects, which can bring a lot of material gain, material which fulfillings. So the sentient beings are more than such wish fulfilling. Sentient beings are more precious than that. Your sentient beings can able to fulfill the wishes that which these material objects weren't able to fulfill. And those are the true happiness, true peace, and the state of Bodhisattva and Buddhahood. Diamond weren't able to deliver that. Even you have the entire universe diamond as your possession, weren't able to deliver everlasting happiness, weren't able to deliver the state of Buddhahood, you see. But the sentient beings, the living beings, the beings in the six realms, each and every one of them carry, that value to fulfill your ultimate wishes, you see. And through the practice of making peace with them, through the practice of being harmonious with them, through the practice of generating love and compassion and kindness to these sentient beings, see. So that's the way all our ultimate wishes will be fulfilled. So therefore, the motivation very much to practice of this adverses, or the practice of the Bodhisattva's way of life, carry a very, very powerful motivation. It's not a simple attitude. It's not a simple purpose, not a small purpose, you see. It carries the heartfelt desire, heartfelt desire and determination to obtain the state of perfected enlightenment for your own benefit, as well as the rest of the benefit of the rest of the numberless sentient beings, until you literally abiding them in the state of full enlightenment. Just like the past Buddhas, they never will rest even for a moment. They will never complete their work for sentient being until samsara become empty. See, such as our precious gurus, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, will never end, taking reincarnation to serve the sentient beings, to guide the sentient beings, to liberate the sentient beings. Like our most precious guru, like Kyabchen Lama Sovaram Rinpoche, will never stop, reincarnating, will never stop coming back to us, until we really get liberated fully in the state of full enlightenment, you see. So Bodhisattvas and Buddhas forever will be there for us, working for us, helping us, guiding us, liberating us, in many, many different type of forms, some as a Nirmanakaya form, some as a Nirmanakaya, ordinary human gurus form, some, as a Sambhavakaya's form, who reside in the Arya Bodhisattvas state, to directly communicating with Arya Bodhisattvas and deliver their extensive altruistic works. Some they manifest as your partner, some will manifest as your children, some manifest as your parent, and teacher and friend, or even a shopkeeper that you usually go, even a coffee maker that you usually go to cafeteria. Their emanations are infinite. You see, the person, those who carry the value of bodhicitta, when they reach the first bhumi, they literally emanate in one single moment, instantly, 100 different bodies, 100 different emanations, simultaneously working for sentient beings, you see, for us, like that. So, so therefore, even though the practice may sound a bit hard, the following verses, but the motivation that you carry, the purpose you carry is a huge, is most beneficial thing. So even hard practice, but still, it's still something good to do in your very best. Okay. So now the second verse is like this. Whenever I'm with others, may I think of myself as the lowest of all, and from the very depth of my heart, may I repeatedly hold others as a supreme. So from this verse already feel like pinching, isn't it? It's quite hard, isn't it? Really to apply in action. So a brief explanation to this this verse. This verse calls us to train the mind in a proper humility. You see, so asking us to, practice that oneself is the lowest among all, is not really saying that, you don't carry that confidence to be far to the rest of the others. You don't carry confidence to be the leader. It's very much talking about the practice of humility. Meaning, humility is the heart that you see quality in others. It's not talking about deleting quality within yourself, and you be the nobody, or you be the lowest. It doesn't mean like that. It's very much meaning carrying positive attitude, positive view, pure view about others, about anything, about everything. Carrying pure view, seeing quality in everything. You see, yesterday we had a rain. Can you imagine, someone, especially coming from Sydney and all the way to Blue Mountain, and instead of have a sunny day and you go to rain, it's a disaster, isn't it? But then that disaster is very much depend on your attitude. If you carry a positive attitude, say, oh, I see, quite a dry. You can see from the plants, and this rain is like blessing for each and every plants and worms, and everything will be nurtured. And wow, I'm being part of it. Just visiting this very day with the rainy time, and it's so beautiful. You see. But if you carry the other ways, I came all the way from Sydney. I wanted to see this beautiful, the Blue Mountain area, but then now completely covered with a cloud, and some more is raining, and you feel regret of coming up. So it's very much like perspective. So just seeing, finding quality, and there are numberless qualities that you can find in everything. Even in the problem, even in the suffering, you can find beautiful things, beneficial things, meaningful things. You see, so humanity is about something like that. Not heart filled with this egoistic attitude, which is other than yourself, everything is not good. That's the egoistic centered, mind. For that person, is only your way of thinking, only your emotion, only your way is the best. Otherwise, everything you see is limitation in them. You see limitation in everything. You see limitation even in Buddha. So like that, So now today, again, is just like, wow, so appreciative for the sunny day, and because of the sunny day, yes, it's beautiful in the cooler weather. In the sunny day, it's so beautiful. But then some people may not like this windy kind of, nature. Say, oh yeah, sunny is good, but then still something is limited. It's windy. It shouldn't be windy. It would be more beautiful without wind. They may think like that. But then, just an example. Just now I just take one walk all around. I look at the trees, and this very kind of like a naked branch. Even though there's no leaves, but because of the wind, you know, you see every single branches are dancing. Every single branches are like almost like communicating with you, like kind of say hello, nodding, like, you know, every one of them is like rushing to communicate with you. You know, you just feel something like that. And all of them are just like kind of like a community dancing. You know, group of, you know, these branches come together and like, you know, or teasing each other or dancing or whatever you want to say. You know, they look so beautiful. But that won't happen if there's no wind. They will sit still like that, you know. They don't want to talk to you. So again, it's just how you know, it's more about like finding something meaningful in that storm. And there are so many, as I say, basically all the Bodhisattva's attitudes, Buddha's attitude, Buddha's wisdoms, Bodhisattva's wisdoms are all about positivity. You know, there are numberless wisdoms and numberless attitudes that we can learn, and we try to you know, kind of like mirror them. We try to use as a mirror in your heart, see whether any reflection that you can get, you know, that positive mirror, that when you reflect, how say now, I don't know how to give the example, so you can work it out. Reflect that way or reflect this way, but reflecting something good. So anyway, so something like that. So that's like practice of humility in relation to this nature. You know, you're offering like genuine sense of respect. You see, you kind of appreciate all this nature. You know, you see, an example like that. Then as for human being, when you look for qualities, you know, definitely there are you know, numberless qualities that human being carries. You see, so if you relate with our own negative attitude, then even in the Buddha may find faults. Like Devadatta, you know, one of the Buddha's closest monk. You know, he's the most, he spent the most time with the Buddha. You know, almost everywhere Buddha travels, he's there. But he only see faults in Buddha. When he teach, you know, whenever he get the audience and Buddha start to, you know, talk nice things, like very much like you have Buddha potential, you know, you're amazing, and all the good things. And Devadatta says, you're really looting people with the sweet talk. You know, whenever I talk good things, Devadatta tell Buddha, you are cheating people with the sweet talk. I can imagine. Then whatever Buddha does, you know, he just against him. He just see something is limitation, and you try to do opposite. You know, even like eating salt. You know, Buddha put some salt in his food. He said, "That's not right. No, I want to eat something without salt." even just so silly, like just that. And there are so many other events that, you know, Devadatta just see very much everything is negative about Buddha, you know, and like that. So living Buddha is with him, but then see faults like that. You see, but then for Buddha, you see, for Buddha whose heart is completely purified in pure view, and Buddha relate to even we sentient being, we samsaric people. You know, for Buddha, you know, he see us angels. You know, he see us as a dakas and dakinis. You know, angels in his mandala, his celestial. You know, and Buddha see our homes and this, like even this hotel, celestial place. It's not a just ordinary hotel, not just ordinary place. celestial hall hosting all my angels, all these angels. For Buddha sees like that. Because of his heart is purified with all negativities or the negative perception, and he carry only positive perceptions, and that reflect in everything that he encounter, So, so that's why it's saying that in Buddha's eyes, there's no impure existence in Buddha's eye. Impure exists in Buddha's eye. Samsara exists in Buddha's eye. Samsaric world, problematic world exists in Buddha's eye. But in Buddha's eye, there's no problematic exists, no samsara exists, no impure being exists. And from here, you can understand the value of purified mind. You see, it's not about purified and unpurified by the object. It's very much about the subject, the mind. You see, so if our self purified, our mind, if we carry the positive attitude, we can experience exactly the same way how Buddha would experience, you see. And the perceptions are really, differences according with individual people's exposure, knowledge, trainings, habituation of the past. You see, that makes one object in so many different experiences, like a red rose. Some people just don't like the red color. How beautiful fragrance the rose may be carrying, and majority of the world people appreciate red rose, but you just hate it, But then for some people, maybe the red color is the best. You see, and the same object, you can view, you can experience the joy, everything according with your own, capability of the mindset and the karma that you carry. The karma, which is mental imprint, that which you bring, habitual in the past. You've been accumulating the same thinking, same thoughts, so that establish the imprint in our continuum, and that's called karma. When that expresses in relation to that particular object, if you have an accumulation or a habitual of negative attitude, then you see negative characteristic in that object. If you accumulate positive attitude, then you see, the positive karma ripen, and that reflect onto that object, and you receive positive benefits, So there's one subject that which the philosophers would debate and discuss and try to find out how it works in relation to the manifestation of different mind, or purified and unpurified mind, or the differentiations in relation to different karmic imprint, ripening of different karmic imprint, like such as one cup of liquid, one glass of water, simultaneously viewed by three kind of beings, the Buddha and the Preta and the human. The same amount of liquid and same liquid, but then simultaneously three things can exist. For the human, pure water is definitely validly exists out there. And for the pretas, there's no water at all. It's blood and pus. That amount of liquid is blood and pus. And that blood and pus is a valid to the preta. For the preta, that's not a water. But then for the gods and for the Buddhas, when they perceive that liquid as a nectar and not blood and pus, not an ordinary water. It is a blissful nectar. And when each one of them tastes it, human just tastes that water. Preta tastes blood and pus. and Buddhas, they taste the nectar. And it is a real thing for all the three. And that's simply manifestations of your purified mind, manifestation of your mind, manifestations of your habitual mind, which is also called as karma. This is a manifestation of your karma. And it is real, but still there's a three experiences is experienced simultaneously. And as if there should be a three kind of object, but actually there's no three kind of object, it's one object. That liquid of water, that's it. You are the one who prepared the liquid of water. You didn't prepare any nectar there. You didn't prepare, like a Sue didn't prepare any nectar there. Sue didn't prepare any blood and pus there. She just prepared the pure water, and I just tasted the pure water only. I didn't taste any of the others because I don't have the karma of any of the others. So just like that, you see. So it all depends on our mind, you see. So now, one thing, in every human being, their ultimate nature is Buddha nature, and Buddha nature is a huge quality. Buddha nature is the nature that's equal to Buddha. The Buddha carries, the equal nature the Buddha carries, equal potential the Buddha carries, isn't it? So you see, how nasty the person may be, how bad the person may be, if you look for a quality, one quality that you definitely have to accept, which is the Buddha nature in that person. You see? But then more than that, there may be so many other qualities, you see. And for us to, express that respect is a practice of humility. When you see so-called enemy, but say, yes, he or she is my enemy. But then at the same time, she still carries some good quality. She carries Buddha nature. And right there, actually, you lower your ego and you express your practice of humility. The acknowledging others' quality is a practice of humility. And that's what it means, putting everyone, above you. And you regard yourself as the lowest. It means the practice of humility and seeing quality in others. This is certainly not suggesting we belittle ourselves. We should have self-esteem and self-confidence, especially to be happy and to practice Buddha Dharma, and more than so, to practice Bodhisattva's way of life, to choose this Mahamuniye path, to choose the Mahayana path, the altruistic path. You need a lot of self-esteem. You need a lot of self-confidence. You see, I can do it. I have the ability to do it. So you need a lot of self-confidence. So this particular verse, practice is not about diminishing your self-confidence. Actually, that will boost your self-confidence. When someone is humble, no one can push the person any more further down. As the humblest person, there's no place to collapse. You see, none of the negative emotion like ego, jealousy, pride, nothing can destroy this person. Others' jealousy, others' ego, others' pride, others' success, all these worldly challenges that we face, nothing can destroy this person pursuing the maximum potential of this person. You see, so humility actually is the most powerful. Humbleness, humility is the most powerful, tools of confidence. You see, substance of confidence. So if we carry ego, then it's like you're already on the top of the mountain. It's very easy to push you down. There's so many layers to drop If you think you are the best, then the obstacle for you to achieve more knowledge. At the same time, you know, so easy for others to bring obstacle to your status, to your success, to your level. You see, because you will really go through the loss because there's so much to fail, for fall. You see. So anyway, you can see from great Tibetan masters that one of very obvious practices, they live in the practice of humility. Like even like His Holiness Dalai Lama, without any doubt, is Arya Bodhisattva. It's no doubt it's a Buddha, but at least in our ordinary mind, when we relate to his way of life, his deeds, his blessings, his power, it's really Arya Bodhisattva, no doubt, even for ordinary mind. In our spiritual faith, he's Buddha, but even in ordinary mind, But then His Holiness never claimed that, I have bodhicitta, I've realized emptiness, and he always relate to the whole world people that I'm just one family member of the humanity. He's just one of them, and he always claimed that I communicate with everybody as I'm just equal with them. I'm the same human being, carrying same emotion. You see, and he says that brought, hundreds and millions of people as his close friend, and millions of people like his existence, and because of his humanity. And he says that he can talk to anybody, he can be friend with anybody because there's no ego at all. He himself really see the sameness with everybody, and so easy for others to communicate with him, and himself has this openness to really to relate with everybody. You see, so if someone carry ego, then it is an obstacle. You see, that's the blockage. So that's one of great example, like His Holiness. And if you go to meet His Holiness in person, his warmth, his respect to you, his care is like, heartwarming. It's heart melting. You'll be completely melt, unbelievable, like that. Then our most precious Guru, Kyabje Lama Sopa Rinpoche, many of you have experienced time with him. Even you yourself as a disciple, the way he would treat you, the way he would, is very much like you are somewhere up there. Like even the physical gesture is like so respectful, to anybody. If you spend some time, maybe a week or maybe a few days, even just 24 hours, because he meet, so many people, so many different levels of people. Some could be beggar, some could be minister, some could be high monk, some could be just ordinary monk, whatever. Same level of respect that he shows everyone, even to the beggar. Same, maybe if no more to the beggar. Same, you will experience that. And so much attention. I had the fortune to be Rinpoche's attendant about 3 years, a long time ago. You see, whoever get into him, everybody, the attention that he gives is like 100% importance and attention, 100%. I say you're just, I never met you before, so less attention, not like that. Or you are just an ordinary person, less attention, not like that. Or you are very important people, I pay more attention, not like that. Everyone, same level of attention, same level of respect, same level of care, same level of time, from his side, like exactly same. And also to the animals, same. You're a human being and I should pay more attention. No, whether it's tiny animal, big animal, same level of attention. I think some of you, I talk often about this encounter. This encounter is so that's when I was attendant to Rinpoche. So we traveled to Laudo. So some of you have attended some of my other sessions. Maybe you must have heard. You must hearing second round or third round or fourth round or 10 rounds. But there's a relation to this topic here. Is about my journey with Rinpoche to Laudo. The Rinpoche's holy cave, where his past life was also meditated. Where Rinpoche himself also, whenever he get opportunity, he would visit there, to retreat, and where his mother have spent so many years, to take care of the cave. Now his sister, Aningao Samden, is very much dedicating entire her life to take care of the place. And many students around the world have a huge merit to go and visit the cave, did pilgrimage, So this is something, I don't know, 90. I have maybe 95, 6, or I don't know exactly which year, but so we went up. So when we went up, we went by helicopter, and so we did Nyungne practice, the Compassionate Buddha Cherry 6 retreat with Tamo nuns. There's a nunnery below the maybe about half an hour journey walking down below the cave in the valley. And they came up to the cave, and Rinpoche, we participated the retreat for 1 whole week. Then after that, the day that we're supposed to leave to Lukla, where there's an airport where you can take flight to Kathmandu. And for local, they can just travel, within 1 day, they can go up and go down, like this. It depends on individual, how fast they walk. Maybe for some, maybe a few hours. There's one monk called Srinurbo. I think for him, maybe, I don't know, 1-2 hours down and 1-2 hours up, maybe. So it's a quite, in one way, it's quite a short distance, not that far for some locals like him. But for Rinpoche, it took 3 nights and 3 days to reach there. Because he's paying attention to entire sentient beings on the way. He's been talking to entire sentient beings, So on the morning, early morning, the last session of the retreat is early morning by breakfast. So you breakfast, then that's it. So we're supposed to leave straight away by then. Then Rinpoche need to do consecration of one stupa at Lukla. Then the next morning, we're supposed to take flight to Kathmandu. But then suddenly, just before the breakfast, and he says, he realized that these nuns have requested him to offer the transmission and blessings of the Nyungne text, the fasting retreat text, which is quite substantial text. And then of course, who can stop Rinpoche? So Rinpoche just, he say, okay, I should do now, otherwise don't know when I can offer this. They've been requesting for many years. So then the moment he start the session, which is, for us, the breakfasts are there, but Rinpoche is still not having breakfast because he need to rush the teaching. So for us, it's like we eat breakfast and at the same time listen. But then Rinpoche, instead of oral transmission, he went through preparatory teachings, Lamrim teaching, the teaching on the gradual path, and to prepare prepare the listener with a proper foundation to receive the blessing. So he went through the preparatory teaching all the way up to lunchtime. And there's no breakfast. Now the lunchtime, there's no lunch. And he still haven't started his order transmission. Then he's carry on. And somewhere around maybe 2, 3, maybe 3, 4 o'clock, then suddenly, I mean, of course, we've been reminding him, okay, you know, your times are running out and you haven't started what you wanted to do and this and that. But then finally, and he stopped teaching on the Lamrim, then he started to read the text. And when he read it, I mean, he read it so fast, super fast, you know, and really able to deliver the blessing of transmission. And by then, and we already, I think up to 4, 5 o'clock like that, maybe sometime out of 4 maybe. Then his sister, you know, really want Rinpoche to eat something, otherwise she won't let him go. She's already crying. You know, first thing is he's leaving. Second thing is, you know, she see that he haven't eat breakfast, he haven't eat lunch, and now he's like want to walk. So, and especially in the Himalayas, you know, if you eat more, then they regard you healthy. If you eat less, if you're in diet, they think you're unhealthy. If you are fat, then you're very healthy. If you're thin, not so healthy. So maybe Anila also might be carrying that kind of idea. I have no anyway. Yeah, but for Rinpoche, definitely didn't eat at all. You know, so he has to eat something. So then, looking at Anila's face and of course, you know, like Rinpoche will be melted with that, and he just sit down and he start to accept the offering, the food. But then he start to do, before eating, he start to make offering. So when he made offering to each Buddhas, you know, each gurus and each deities, then after that he make the dedication to each of the 6 realm sentient beings, you know, not just like all sentient being. He will make a special dedication to the hell being. So he's paying extra attention to hell being, you know, equal attention. Then to the hungry ghost being, then to the animal being, you know, then to the human, then to the god, then to the, you know, asuras, you know. So it's almost like he may be counting one by one, you know, but so detailed. So by the time when we start to eat, he was eating super fast and will finish. So then when we start to walk, so of course Rinpoche, you know, as a respect, we try to, you know, we let him walk first. No. That already is bit dark because of high in the mountains. So, you know, by 5 something, already clouds comes in and you already feel a bit dark. And also it's mist, you know, or drizzling, a little bit of drizzling. And we naturally, we will, you know, quite a number of us will go first. So after a few steps, Rinpoche stopped everyone. He said he want to lead the road. And then we've been saying that, okay, the road is not so good and it's a bit dark, you know, so Rinpoche has to be somewhere in the middle. So we have about 10, 15 of Indaraj together. So then he says, no, stop, I need to lead the road. And the main thing is that when we were walking, you know, we just rushing and we didn't pay attention at all to the road. We're just walking, we're rushing. But then Rinpoche's concern is there may be a lot of creatures, a lot of insects maybe crawling on the road. So he must be concerned about that. And the moment he lead the road, every 1 or 2 steps, you know, stops. And initially we are not quite sure, you know, what he's doing. So he been like kind of like guarding something. He bent down and guarding something. But then we try to figure it out. What is that? And we saw a frog. There's one frog jumping. So he stopped the frog and and chanting the powerful mantras to bless the frog, So it takes about, 10, 15, half an hour, whatever. Then just take another step. Then again, his blessing. And what is that? And there's like ant is walking. So he spotted the ant. Now he pay full attention to the ant, equal attention to the frog, now to the ant. Then there's ant after ant, ant after ant. Then there's all sort of insects. He spot. Even it's quite dark, but it's still spot. So he's like full attention is those insects moving around. Then on the way there's some rocks, some little stupas. So the moment he see the stupas, immediately he make prostration, long prostration. So it's muddy, because of the drizzling, and we don't have any preparation about putting the prostration carpet or nothing. We didn't prepare. So he immediately with the ropes just do prostration. Then he go around circumambulation of that stupa or that rock that got some mantra around, with so much, even the hand gestures would put into prostration gesture, then go around, and not just go around one time or 3 times, you go around many times. You see, when he do prostration, not just 3 times, he do prostration while chanting the 35 Buddhas practice, 35 Buddhas prayers, and do prostration like that. So by the time when we reach Lukla, which is just, it's close by, we reach in the morning around 3 o'clock. So we left around 5:30, and we reach in the morning around 3 o'clock. And before entering into the Lukla, the town, there's one big rock, got so many mantra writings, mantra carving on the rock. And the moment Rinpoche saw that, and he says that it's so precious, we're going to do Guru Puja here. And so then, that's it. So everybody just had to sit around the rock and Guru Puja. And then of course, we want one of us to lead the prayer so that we can lead fast and finish fast. And then Rinpoche says, he want to lead the puja. So then this monk, this elderly, that time he's quite young. I would say, maybe 30, 40 years old, maybe by then. So Tsirin Nobu. So on that day, he already did 3 rounds going to Lukla and come up, and still Rinpoche is not moving. So then that time, so he is with us. So you can see physically he is completely exhausted, but then his heart is filled with aspiration. The Bodhisattva's way of life and the conduct that Rinpoche is performing. So he sit right in front of Rinpoche like this, almost like face to face, so close. And the moment the puja start, this monk start to fall asleep because obviously he's so tired. But then I think he's physically, I think he's really, really tired and falling asleep, but his heart still must be filled with so much inspiration. And he timely get up whenever he needed to wake Rinpoche up from his meditation. So this monk fall asleep, Rinpoche go into a meditation. So Rinpoche will recite one line, then he meditate on the line. And this sleeping monk suddenly make a loud noise, like Rinpoche, Kyapsuche. So Rinpoche is Rinpoche, yeah? So Kyapsuche means, I really take refuge in you, or I prostrate to you. The meaning is that. And he wake up from his sleep, but it's timely to wake up Rinpoche from his samadhi. Then the moment Rinpoche was wake up by this loud sound, then he move on to the next line. Then he make a long tune chanting the next line. Then again, at the end of that line, he go into meditation. After some time, again, this monk wake up from his sleep, wake Rinpoche up. So it's carry on like that until I think sometime around 8 o'clock or something like that. We finish Guru Puja around 8, no, around 3:15 start. There's no preparation of this and that. Mainly it's just a prayer. And around 8 o'clock. And right after the Guru Puja finish, there's one family rush up to Rinpoche, said that one of their son went climbed the mountain and died, and requesting Rinpoche to come and do some prayers. You know, there's some Sangha gathering there, and Rinpoche immediately said, sure. So he went, and then there, you know, we thought that he's going to spend whole day or no, you know, and all of us just left Rinpoche on the throne. Then we went for our breakfast, and Rinpoche haven't had any food yet, and he participated, but we reminded him that, okay, by the way, your flight already missed. You're supposed to be in Lukla by now. By 8 o'clock, at the 8 or 9, the flight is flying. So I say flight is missed, but because Rinpoche had another flight from Kathmandu to fly to US. And that's very important journey because he have organized one teaching from his teacher. So he's supposed to be there for that. So we reminded him that you cannot afford to delay anymore. So Rinpoche kind of said, okay, you know, like very, very delightfully, you know, like smilingly say, okay. So then, somehow we managed to pull Rinpoche out from that puja, maybe about 1 or 2 hours time. Then when he come out from that puja, in the whole, the Lukla, not Lukla, Namche Bazar, sorry, Namche Bazar. I'm talking about Namche Bazar, not Lukla yet. So the Namche Bazar. So next to this big rock of the mantra, you know, then the Namche Bazar village. Along the street, every door, you know, the shop owners or the families, you know, they're standing up with brass plate filled with rice or barley, then, you know, flowers. So each and every one of them actually hoping Rinpoche to go into their house, or they go into their hotel, or go into whatever, you know, to bless. So each and every one of them. And the moment he get out from this prayer room, he start to go into this house. The moment go into any of these houses, everybody got altar, you know, altar. And the moment he see altar, then he start to do 35 Buddhas prostration. Then he start to teach to the family member, that whoever is inviting him, teaching them, you know, teaching them Dharma. Then there, you know, minimum half an hour or 1 hour. Then go to the next house, exactly the same thing. Go to this house, that house. Just that long street in Namche Bazaar, you know, we finish non-stop without having meal. It went up to 8 o'clock in the evening. So morning around 8:30, 9, maybe somewhere, and until 8 o'clock, non-stop. Non-stop prostration to each house, non-stop teaching, and just fulfilling each and every one of people, whoever is standing there, he tried to give full attention, you know, you see, and never a sign of I'm tired, you know, just like showing so much respect, you know, thank you. Some more say thank you, you know, thank you for allowing me to benefit you, something like that, you know. It's like so much humility, you know, and so much compassion. It's so much service, unbelievable, then equanimity, you know, the full attention. You know, this is how Bodhisattva works. You know, Bodhisattva works. This is how Rinpoche dedicated whole his life like that. And this is how it is. You see. So then, by around 8 o'clock, then there's one you know, family came up, and they really understand that Rinpoche must be very tired. So then they offer one horse for him to ride. Of course, he will never ride horse, you know. But he still accept the offering. And he asked one of the interrush to take care of the horse and chant the mantra loudly. So now we have one more interrush along our journey. And this person has to, this monk has to chant the mantra loud. I think he must be so tired because he cannot stop chanting the mantra for the horse. So at night, the horse is actually quite grumpy to walk, quite difficult. And right after Namche Bazaar, actually, that's one quite a, if I remember correctly now, quite a tricky road, to go down. For me, I would say, one of the most scariest road along that journey. I don't know about after Lugla, but between Lugla to Laudo, that part was quite, even though at night I can feel is, and people describe, this is like kind of like a cliff going down to the river. They say it's quite tricky. So we have to carry the horse together, chant the mantra, and then Rinpoche is still leading, and he's still again, because at night, and when it start to drizzle, the frogs and all this and that all comes out on the road, and or maybe some, because we carry torch, maybe they attracted by the light, and Rinpoche continue to offer blessing. And there's one place before Lugla, there's for Lama Dorje's house. Lama Dorje's, there's one mantra master, lay practitioner. One of the main reasons why we choose to walk down, he says that as Lama Dorje have requested him to offer, I think long life initiation or something many years back in Bodh Gaya somewhere. And he didn't get the opportunity to fulfill his wish. So, and don't know when he will come back next. So since I'm here, I should fulfill his wish. So he actually wanted to offer the long life initiation there. So the time that when we reach to Lama Dorje's place is morning around 4 o'clock. And the first thing when Lama Dorje met Rinpoche, first thing he says, please don't give initiation. Please don't do anything. Just rest. Is my request is now, no need any initiation. I just want you to rest. Go into the room and rest, until next morning. And Rinpoche said, no, it's okay. I came for that. It's okay. And until Lama Dorje says that maybe no one will appear for the initiation tomorrow, because they've been waiting for 2 days and you didn't come, So all the villagers returned back to their own village, and the villages are, scattered everywhere and very far. So it says it's quite difficult to within this short period of time say there's initiation again tomorrow. It's not possible. So then he went into his room. Lama Dorje, went onto their room to rest. Then about half an hour or so, he called the attendants, like myself and few other monks, say, prepare for the initiation tomorrow. Say, make the thomas, make the rituals. He said, just prepare for the initiation. So tomorrow around 10 o'clock, we do the initiation. So right after that, which he started to do some of his daily prayers, daily practices. Then immediately he went into doing the self-initiation, the preparatory practice for the initiation. He already went in to do that. Then around by 10 o'clock. Now the surprising thing is that without announcing to the village, exact 10 o'clock, few hundreds of villagers flock into to receive initiation. So Rinpoche knew it, but without telling people. They came exact that time, because he said, okay, initiation will start 10 o'clock. Exact that time. Unbelievable. So then again, same thing. The initiation, before initiation, went through extensive teachings on Lamrim. Then after that, the actual initiation. So we finished around 5, 6, something like that. Or maybe, I think must be a bit later. So anyway, when we reached to the Lugla, where there's a stupa, the stupa in the middle you can pass through. So the stupa built from that area where you climb up before entering into the Lugla town. Then there's one big stupa. So the Rinpoche inspired to build that. So when we reached there, I think around again 8, 9 o'clock at night, then he immediately wanted to do extensive consecration, puja, then Guru puja again. So then that went all the way up to morning 2 or 3 o'clock. Then after that, there's one library. So where they organize Rinpoche's resting place. So Rinpoche to spend a night. So we went there. The moment we reached in the library, so Rinpoche, he haven't done this. This every night he does charity to the pretas, charity to the formless beings, called sur offering practice, sur practice. We also call it as aroma offering charity practice. And even though the already reaching the dawn time, and he want to make sure that never miss that, so he started to perform that. And right after that, he says once reach Kathmandu, will be very busy. So morning he does Dharma offering practice and Zambala practice. There's one again, water offering charity practice to the six realm sentient beings, in particularly to the formless preta beings. So then he started to perform that. And we have a flight, I think it's 8:30 or 9, something like that. By the time that he finishes all his prayers, we're almost missing the flight. So we really have to run to the airport. And by the time we reach near to the everybody is already aboard the plane. And finally, we're able to get into the flight. Then he reached Kathmandu. He went to Kopan Monastery. And there's the long queue waiting, because that is after the November course. So there are so many foreigners, wanted to meet Rinpoche. They already made appointment. So straight away, Rinpoche started to meet people, meet the abbots, etc. Then, yeah. So basically, whole day spent like that. Then next morning, then he has to travel to US. So the Venerable Roger, the attendant, he reorganized all his travel plans. Then Venerable Roger went to airport with all his luggage, and then said that make sure you bring Rinpoche on time to the airport. So, but then the time is already gone, and he still haven't finished meeting people, and because the people haven't finished saying what he needed to say, Rinpoche is still paying attention, Then after the person gone, then he suddenly remembered that the Kopan nunnery nuns, they have requested the order transmission of the Nyungne practice, and maybe it should offer now, because there are a lot of practitioners there. Then we said, there's no time. So in any way, cut the story short. So he went to nunnery, he fulfilled that, he almost missed the flight. He finally able to catch the flight, and he flew. And this is just one tiny example of how, these gurus live a life, every single day, whole life until the last breath. It's like that. This is also very much called the Bodhisattva's way of life. And this is also, you can say, the practice of now I'm lost. You can also say humility, and also attention, like equal attention to everybody, even those insects, If something didn't come in his way, then what to do? But otherwise, anybody, even the insects, frogs comes in his way, that's it. And everywhere he goes is like that. So, yeah. Yeah, so something like that. So this is certainly not suggesting we belittle ourselves belittle ourselves. We should have self-esteem and self-confidence. Rather, our practice is being offered for training our exaggerated sense of self-importance and for cultivating true humility and respect for others. And cultivating true humility and respect for others. So true humility is seeing importance in all others, seeing importance in every other living beings. And then, you offer your service. You be in their service voluntarily. You see, like what Rinpoche did, voluntarily. None of this frog requested him to help them. You see, and he really, how to say, because he saw so much value in them and so much respect. We pay attention. We talk to people only when we know them or we kind of see importance in them. Otherwise, we won't bother, isn't it? You see. So now here Rinpoche is really sees so much important. How can I miss talking to them? How can I live without spending some time with them? Very much like that. How can I just go away without offering my service? You're able to do that when you see others as so important and you as their servant. You are as a servant. Like Bodhisattvas, they behaved all sentient beings like they are like a servant. To take care of their comfort, their well-being. You see, so like that. The afflictions of arrogance, superiority, pride, competitiveness create disharmony among people and prevent us from learning and evolving. You see, so all the problem in the world, the problem in the global problem, the wars, the country to country, the conflict, the state to state, the organization to organizations, then among two people, conflict is very much due to arrogance. Very much because of not having that respect in others, and not cultivating humility. Not, you see, it's because of the arrogance and superiority. My way is most important. My way is the important. My way is the right. Your way is wrong. You see, Then pride, the egoistic pride, that also hallucinates us. Then competitiveness. You see, now look at in the world, these so-called giant countries, just because of you want to stay in the highest power, you really bring so much destruction to the others. Unbelievable. That's a reality. It's happening in the world. You see, not just in the world, even in the Dharma communities, even in ordinary communities, competitiveness. You see, when we do Dharma works, when we do virtues, it's not about comparing. It's not about I do better than you, or you shouldn't be doing better than me. It's not about that. It's just the heart has to be filled with so much rejoicement. Whoever do good, rejoice, and you do your best. You do your best, and whoever is doing good, rejoice it. And that will bring the great success of your own self, your own country, your own organizations. When you rejoice, people start to be friend with you. When you rejoice of other success, when you have the room for friendship. You see, so in a worldly world, you see everything competitiveness. In education, competitiveness. Wealth, competitiveness. Power, competitiveness. Unbelievable. That's the whole reason of why so much disaster. This is reality. This is happening. You see. Now, we as a Dharma practitioner, we have to be super careful because we carry this, human nature that governed by, this, I already said on the first day, governed by the parliament of ignorant, parliament of ego-centered attitude. Remember, ignorant as the president, self-cherishing as the home minister, anger as a defense minister, and attachment as a what? Treasurer. Attachment as a treasurer. Oh, my goodness. You see? So we've been governed by like that. So even when we are in the Dharma, if we are not mindful, we can be just ordinary like rest of the other people who mess up the world. We will mess up the Dharma also if we are not careful. You see, so really have to watch out. Otherwise, we already experienced so much difficulty in the worldly world. After coming into Dharma, also same kind of experience. Then what's the point, isn't it? So I have to be very, very careful. Especially, we have to be careful whenever we want to improve ourselves. Especially, to be better in our spiritual practice, to change, to find the meaning of life. Like before we met Dharma, and after we meeting Dharma, the energy before met the Dharma and energy after met the Dharma, it's two different energy, and it clashes. There's a friction happens. And we need to pay attention to that friction. We need to know this friction is possible, this friction is happening. Therefore, I shouldn't blame anybody. And I also shouldn't blame myself. I'm just in the process of improving. So therefore, I must not let this friction to be the reason for the negative emotion to take advantage of me, advantage of my development. You see, when we don't practice at all, we are quite okay. When we are not Buddhist yet, we are okay because the energy is quite same, quite numb. The moment you start to be, a spiritual practitioner, friction happens. See, within ourselves also find very uneasy, very difficult to adjust the change. You see, and when we are among people, very difficult to adjust. And this friction will manifest into misunderstanding. This friction manifests into a misjudgment, and also, like hallucinations. You start to hear wrongly. Even someone saying nicely, you hear wrong way. You understood wrong way. You see, even people behaving maybe okay, but then you start to interpret wrong behavior. You see, so it's not the person is doing that, and not yourself doing that. It's the friction of transition of energy is happening. That is the one, the delusions, the smart ignorance taking advantage to ruin your life. So we have to pay, there's one particular concentration called balance attention. whenever we train in meditation, whenever we train in our spiritual development, there's one particular practice called paying balanced attention. Balance meaning timely, and you need to know if you are paying attention to something before, you need to know that you need to let go of your full attention to here. Now you need to change the attention to something else, because something else is most important at this stage. You see, so that's called balance from one to another. That's why I call balance attention. So then, after you become Buddhist, then you start to learn more, endless frictions, because you're improving. Your old person is changing to a new person. You're becoming better and better, which is wonderful. But then the friction always make us feel that I'm not improving. I feel disturbed. Or you start to disturb others, you see, and you start to feel, how come? I've been practicing quite some time, but instead of improving myself, it seems like getting worse. Or other people may think, how come you've been practicing so long, but you behave worse than before? You behave worse than, non-practitioner. So these are a few examples, you see. So then when you start to take more vows, each time you take a higher vows, friction of the early energy, later energy. Whenever your heart from a compassion to you, now you want to develop to great compassion to all the beings, friction. Because the earlier heart is just about you, which is beautiful, which is virtue, good. Now you want to become better. But then in order to bring that small compassion to great compassion, true energy is totally different, friction. You see? So now even someone practicing sutra, now you want to improve to practice tantra, friction. You can become a wild, you can become a unbelievably, people will be like shocked. If you don't know this teaching, people will be, how come? You've been practicing for 20, 30 years of sutra, and now even you are upgrading yourself to practice tantra, but you behave worse than before. You behave worse than you never before you enter into the Buddhism. Your family may find like that. Your people around you may find like that. You see, friction, because of friction. Now you need to pay timely the balanced attention. You see, you have to watch out your mind, especially whenever you are improving, whenever you are developing. You see, and someone as a lay person now becoming sangha, monk or nun, friction. You see, you cannot expect after someone renounce and become a monk or nun, like become suddenly like Bodhisattva. No, maybe you may experience worse. Before become nun or monk, you are okay. But after you become nun and monk, you are like completely behave unbelievably. What is that? This friction is going on. So the community should know this knowledge. Yourself also know this knowledge. And when you apply the balance attention by the people around you and over yourself, then you will bring harmony. Then rather instead of blaming, instead of criticizing, rather people know that you are improving. Now I need to be part of creating the environment for you to improve. I need to get a better care from this transition. During this transition, I need to pay a better attention for this transition. You see, then that's how that. So that's actually we call as a Sangha community. This challenging time, because constant changes, constant improvement. And you need the Sangha community, and the Sangha community itself become like a war zone. Then how? Then really everything got into disaster. So it's a very, very serious thing. You see, it's actually a how to say, it's some kind of education that need to be educated, whenever we, whenever this community starts, more than one person, more than two person coming together, like more than two person coming together, this education is needed, so that then mutually they have a very open, good understanding and know how to take care of each other. You see, so like that. Mm. Yeah, so this is very, very important. Yeah, the most important thing is you need to know, because you know what kind of practices you are upgrading yourself. And then you try to, you apply the balanced attention timely, then you control your body, speech, and mind, at least during the transition period, to make sure that that you are, under good care. Otherwise can be very challenging. Can be very challenging. Then, as a community level, has to be very, very gentle. Basically, if like a monastery, always have to be gentle, because all the time there's a newcomers are there, and all the time there's a upgrading of vows and the practices and the learnings. So whoever is running the monastery or running any institution, spiritual institution, the main job is to pay balanced attention and run the organization with that, you see, and try to maintain the harmony, try to maintain the peace, try to create the conducive environment to nurture. Then from that community, from long time, I mean, all the time you will have many realized beings, many amazing realizations, and even people, even individual attaining Buddhahoods, or attaining arhatships, and achieving high level of precepts. You see, an example, Sangha community, monks community or nuns community, the team who manage that steadily, then from the starting of the community until to a certain stage, you have like many fully ordained sanghas, But if you didn't manage properly, then before even nervous, already explored. You don't have a basis to continue the practice. So that is, you can apply in a global level, community level, and also individual level, just within oneself. You see, so otherwise, honestly speaking, carry the name of Dharma, then cannot practice Dharma properly. Also cannot enjoy this wild, the ordinary life. Just enjoy at the beach, doing beer. Then what else you can do? Play chess, or eat seafood, or whatever. Yeah, so it's like, just like, don't care about karma, don't care about this Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, the Bodhicitta, all these things. Just you just become completely wild. You see, but we also not there to do that. And we want to really practice the karma, practice the Dharma. So if we are coming into this line, then if we really take good care of ourselves, take good care of the community, then really enjoyable journey. Otherwise, Otherwise, it's like not there, not here, and then it's quite a wasting time. You know, this usually the advice they given to the monks. So our teacher, you know, better be proper monk. You know, very educated, you know, practice and pure vow. You know, otherwise, just get lost and be wild. Have many wives and many children and many homes and many cars. Doesn't matter. Whatever you like to do, go. But don't stay in the middle, you know, not here, not there, you know, just finish the resources, you know, eat a lot, and then occupies large space in the community. But, you know, yeah, sometimes the Tibetan monks in a monastery will say, you know, the Tibetan, the population is very small. And everybody know the struggle in Tibet. And one of the way to save the identity is also to have, you know, the people, isn't it? Generations of people. So if everybody become monk, then there's no production of babies. So, so I think I remember even His Holiness used to say sometimes, is it? If you choose to be monks and nuns life, then really, you know, really be a good monk, good nun, you know, well-educated monk, you know, and very serviceable to the Dharma and to the people. You see, otherwise just wear the robes and don't study, don't practice, just spending the day like that. They say it's rather you should go and make babies. At least there will be, you know, service for the preservation of generations of identities like that, you know. So similar. I think similar works with all our you know, different situations, similar like that. Okay. So again, don't know where this is coming from. Oh yeah, the afflictions of arrogance, superiority, pride, and competitiveness create disharmony among people and prevent us from learning and evolving. So therefore, by respectfully holding others as a supreme, we become more humble, gentle, and open. You know, this naturally brings harmony and compassion into our relationship and help us to achieve great qualities, virtues, and spiritual realizations. See, so this is, you can say, very helpful, isn't it? Very helpful for your own development, very helpful for your family development, very helpful for your society development, the world in the large development. Honestly, you see, it's a really, really very, very wonderful practice, you know. Okay, now the third one. In all actions, may I closely examine my state of mind. And the moment the disturbing emotion or negative attitude arises, since this may cause harm to myself and others, may I firmly face and avert it. So this verse calls for the sincere practice of mindfulness, which is one of the key tools of practice in Buddha Dharma. You know, one of the most important mind that we always need to equip in all the time, the mind of mindfulness. Then closely examine our state of mind throughout all our actions. Not just occasionally. Not just examine our mind, but then not being mindful of our thoughts, our speech and our physical action. We need to be watching over all our three doors. Sometimes, you know, people may think, oh, this is quite tiring. always I need to pay attention to all my body, speech, and mind, every single action. That also thoroughly, you may find what becoming Buddhist is so tiring. It may drain so much energy, so much time. You may think like that. It's just not like that. When you start to pay full mindfulness in every actions of your body, speech, and mind, and keep intact with your Dharma value, you are very much like actually helping you to keep up with your peaceful life, peaceful day, and deliver successful result. Really keep you out of troubles. You see, really keep you out of troubles. Keep you out of trouble in the present time. Also, make you accumulate all the causes and conditions for no trouble in the future. And since the practice is about Dharma value, then beyond this lifetime, even in the future lifetime, that we be free from trouble of being born in three royal realms, being even born in the whole samsara. We will be fully prepared because of the result of being mindful mindful onto our three doors. We may born in Buddha's pure realms next life. We may even have a potential to become Buddha, even before we end this life. You see, so it will give you full of confidence and full of security, full of security, and somehow that will like bless wherever you are, like a very secure place. You will enjoy so much. The more mindfulness you apply, the more the happy and safe, life experiences that you will enjoy. So that's so true, even in the small things, in our small deeds, small day-to-day life, very simple day-to-day life. The moment you don't pay mindfulness, then sometimes you make wrong decisions. You engage in the wrong actions. You said wrong thing. You behave wrongly, then you get into big troubles. The teaching encourages us to firmly face and avert any disturbing emotions or negative attitude that very moment they arise. Okay, so this is another very important Dharma practice. Whenever disturbing emotion arises, we never undermine their power. We have to immediately detect it and have to say that even how slighted negative emotion can be, you regard like a wildfire is coming on your way, and have to distinguish how tiny it is. You have to distinguish it right away, avert it immediately. Say, oh, this is just a small desire, it's okay. This is okay. And this small desire going to be a huge destructive, huge destructive. And this small angry, it's not really, I'm not up to saying wrong thing out. It's just a little bit uneasy inside. It's okay. I better go for a cup of coffee. Maybe that may help. It's okay. No, cannot. Immediately have to apply antidote. Then what is the antidote? The first antidote is wisdom. The wisdom seeing the disadvantage of, that unstable, angry mind. You see the harm that it's going to give. You see, so those of you who struggle with this emotion of anger, impatientness, then this Shantideva, he's teaching one of the most famous teaching, which this teaching is actually summary to that. They call Bodhisattva's way of life or Bodhisattva's Charya. You read the chapter 6. Then there the moment you read it, then as if like from now onward, the door to anger is closed, shut in your system, because it's so scary. We understand that this is the teachings of the Buddha, the omniscient one, teach us that all the happiness comes from the result of virtue, merit. all the suffering comes from result of negative karma, negativities, you see. And we know we want happiness only. We don't want suffering. But looking at the day-to-day activities throughout life up to today, there's no one day that is a full concentrated time to accumulate merit. And quite difficult to find, like 24 hours, full focus accumulation of merit is almost, it never happened to me up to now. I wear the robes, I have the monk's vow, I live in a monastery, I was surrounded by so many teachers, so many sanghas, but I can't spot there's one day, 24 hours, fully focused, only accumulation of virtue or merit. No, I can't find, even in the midst of all this conducive condition, either my motivation is not there about merits, accumulation of merit, or even there's motivation, but then actions are not really concentrated one. There's a lot of distractions, lot of time wasting without really engaging in meaningful works, plenty of time sleep, and we forget to sleep with setting proper motivation. 6-7 hours is completely gone, you see. So then sometime, okay, you perform a great virtuous practices, you carry good motivation, but then forget to dedicate. Again, there's a hollow, leakage. But then the demand is like, I want perfect happiness and lasting happiness. That's my demand. I only want that. I don't want any problem. Any slight problem comes, I freak out. I complain the whole world. But the attitude from my side, creating causes for that is so little, you see. So now here, if in case, or it's quite sure actually, in the past lifetimes that we have accumulated quite a lot of merits. In the previous, the present our condition, just being born in the in the central land where there's Buddha's teaching, where Buddha came into, existing in this universe, this world, isn't it? We talk about this teaching in the Lamrim, like how favorable life we have, and we discussed it this morning also. So those are the result of merit, and we all have quite a comfortable life, honestly speaking, comparing to someone in the war zone, someone right in the middle of natural disasters, someone who are in the prison, who are in abuse, who are in whatever. There's so many tragedies happening around the world. We are not in that zone right at this very moment, isn't it? So that shows we have accumulated so much merit. So now, if we cannot accumulate so much merit now and later, but at least we cannot waste the merit that our previous lifetime work hard. So this is my understanding. We cannot waste. And one of the worst negative emotions that will waste our past accumulated merit is anger. Like what it says by Shantideva in the chapter 6. One moment of anger will destroy eons of accumulations of merits. One moment of anger. You see, so just to know this is like, I can have desire, I can have this and that, but anger, I cannot have it. The trouble that anger going to do is like, no, I can't. See, especially looking at all aspect of our situation, the limited time of accumulation of merit, and also you only want happiness. So even one merit also we need to protect, we need to secure. You see, so in that sense, like anger. So this is what it means. You see, firmly face and avert. The firmly facing is application of antidotes. For beginner like myself, even though the direct antidote to the anger is a patient, but directly applying patient, for me, it doesn't work. I'm not habitual enough in that practice. First, I need to rationalize myself to really, to understand that, okay, this negative emotion is really harmful to me. Like what I said before, the marriage, etc. But then, the actual kind of shutting the door is, the practice of patience is the one that really shuts the door of re-entry of that anger mind, So how small it is. So we have to do immediately. If we delay one moment, the power increases. Any negative emotion increases, it is power. So it will be harder and harder. The more you delay, it becomes harder and harder. So that's why firmly face it and avert any disturbing emotion, negative attitude, very moment they arises. The reason for this is that our delusions, disturbing emotions, and negative attitude can provoke us to think, speak, or act in non-virtuous way, which may cause harm to ourselves and others. So not only it will increases its power, those negative emotions, but it also will lead to negative actions of speech and the body. So that's why first thing is to really eliminate the delusion from the heart. So then that naturally help to protect the negative karma that will come in through our body and speech also. This behavior bring karmic consequences and perpetuate our delusion and suffering. Karmic consequences. Any delusion or any negative action through our body, speech, and mind, like such as anger, or any action through speech that infused by anger, the greatest karmic consequences is to experience in the hell. So even in the hell realm, there are so many, like 8 hot hells, 8 cold hells. When we read in the Lamrim, so there's a detailed description. So the heaviest one is Vajra hell. Then lighter one is hungry ghost. So hungry ghost also, there are so many levels based on the intensity of suffering. Then animal. In the animal also, there's so many different levels, intensity of sufferings. Or then God, demigod, human, you see. So the consequences, the quicker that you avert it, purify it, the lesser the intensity of its harm. And even the time can be shortened, quicker that you purify it, The delaying, the disadvantage of delaying purification, the time become lengthy when you experience consequences. The intensity of suffering become more intense. So as for the purification practice, maybe Sunday and Monday, maybe I thought to go through the Vajrasattva purification practice, like for opponent power, and also there's a visualization in relation to Vajrasattva practice. Maybe I will discuss on Sunday and Monday, I think, Therefore, throughout the day, while working, so driving, walking, studying, talking with others, and so forth, we should closely examine our state of mind and heart. By training our mind in this skillful way, we will be able to firmly face and avert disturbing emotion and negative attitude as they arise and before they develop any further momentum or power. So, yeah. Another way to stay away from the harm that gives us by the negative emotion or negative actions, negative karma through our body, speech, and mind is our heart try to fill with Dharma attitude and Dharma wisdom. From very morning, the moment you wake up, then until go to bed, you really keep your mind completely busy with the Dharma wisdom and Dharma attitude and Dharma activities. So that's one of the way to stay away from arising of negative emotion or always away from the negative emotions and negative karma. So the moment you wake up, the first thoughts you start to cultivate bodhicitta motivation. The moment you wake up, may entire my rest of the existence, may entire my rest of the life, may this very year, may this very month, this very week, this very day, and this very moment, entire, actions of my body, speech, and mind be completely for the cause of temporary happiness and the ultimate happiness, enlightenment of entire rest of the numberless sentient beings. You see, so you express that, sincerely, wholeheartedly from depth of your heart. Okay, and then throughout the day, you try to equip this mindfulness. Really try your very best to keep up with that motivation in all your actions. Even in case that you need to do something, by the nature of your job, maybe there may be certain, which is not really virtuous, which is not a Dharma thing. Still because of the power of the motivation, that you still earn some merit, throughout the journey of the day, like that. Then let's say, right after you wake up, first thing you go to bathroom, most likely, isn't it? Then, you see, there's even when you wash your face, when you brush, there are mantras. They practice every single actions. You can, if you really want to be detailed and serious, then your washings, your taking shower, everything like bath offering practice and all the bath offering prayers that you can chant, you can memorize them, then you can visualize them. And if you don't memorize, but at least visualize that you are taking the bath offering, like how you bathe the Buddha's body. This is one of a very, very important practice to purify our body, speech, and mind. You see. So anything to do with the washing, you can engage like that. Then wearing cloth, there's also a prayers, is also attached to the bath offering practice. After bath offering, you wear the robes, then you wear the ornaments. You see, exactly, you do exactly like that. So especially for someone that like to wear many ornaments, oh, you have a bonus. You have so much extra benefit, so you can wear as much as you like, and everything become virtue. You see, so at least in the meaning, you see, when you do bath offering, brushing teeth, that there's one verse that I bathe Buddha's holy body, speech, and mind, not because of Buddha's holy body, speech, and mind got stained. It's for the purpose of purifying the stain within my ordinary body, speech, and mind. Then I offer the ablution. Or you can just simply recite this mantra, Omo Sawa Tata Kata Samaya Shiriye Ahon. Omo Sawa Tata Kata Samaya Shiriye Ahon. So you can read in the prayer, the FPMD prayer book, you go to the section of bath offering practice, you can use that for you. You see, then wear clothes, then the wearing ornament also has a verse, one verse. Then after that, then when you eat food, then after that, most likely you will have breakfast, isn't it? Or if you need to do lu, what's it, the kaka and poo and so then, so you regard that as a charity. You know, there are sentient beings that who has a karma only can consume species and urines. You know, there are sentient beings like that. You know. So if you don't poo, those sentient beings hungry. If you don't pee, those sentient beings thirsty or hungry or whatever. So you see, so they are karmically, they are sentient beings, you know, like that. Like that. You know, it's very, karma is unbelievable. You see, they are sentient beings. You know, one animal, I think in Australia, you know, only eat ants. Yeah. Unbelievable, huge body, but only eat ants. Unbelievable karma. You see, so just relate to that. You can understand. There are sentient beings only eat your poo, only eat your wee-wee. So now, I mean, the amount of effort that we put to eat food and drink, but we never thought about, you know, it's completely wasted when we go to toilet. But actually go to toilet, you fully utilize into a practice and you create abundance of merit while you are in toilet. Truly. And these are, you know, the true practitioners, you know, people do like that, you see. So they don't waste even one moment, you see. You just simply regard it as a charity, okay? And you have compassion to this karmic, you know, very, very pitiful sentient being, you know, can imagine, just need to eat poo. Unbelievable, isn't it? Then breakfast, you're eating breakfast. Now you remember Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, you know, all the benefit, all the refuge. Now you make offerings, you know, you see, Lama Sangye, Lama Che, or, you know, Tempa Lama Sangye, there are so many offerings, you see. So extensive offering, you know, we the moment breakfast, there, eat, finish, go, wasted, you see. But then you take some time to, you know, really bless them, you know, and offer. Wow, so much merit like that, see. Drink, you know, there's a deep meditation. Can you imagine just how many sentient beings have sacrificed their life just to obtain this pure water for us? How many sentient beings, how many bacteria have sacrificed their life just to obtain this water? You know, numberless sentient beings have sacrificed their life. So you see, you think of them, you feel gratitude, you generate compassion, and you dedicate your life, you know, be in their service altruistically. You know, I must liberate them. You see, because of their kindness, I get chance to drink water. So much advanced practice to develop our heart. Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. So, you see, even a grain of rice, you know, this piece of bread, unbelievable. There's so many sentient beings. Can you imagine where the wheat coming from? You know, the wheat field. Well, just to farm, so many bacteria have died, you know, just to obtain that wheat, which is now you're having as a bread. Unbelievable. Then along the way, there's so many good efforts, you know, so many good efforts, the farmers, the shopkeepers, you know, but we only think I pay money. It's like, that's it, you eat, you know, so it becomes so small. But now you take that as a yoga or practice, unbelievable resource of, you know, accumulation of merit, development of your heart, like that, you see. Now you go to work. If you are CEO, if you are leading the company, you are giving so much, you know, job to people, your livelihood to people, you know, you just rejoice that, you know, I should work hard because so many livelihoods are taken care, you know. They are also sentient beings. They need food, they need money, you know. But then if you are working for somebody, you know, thankful, and also you are part of, there's so many people, you know, get livelihood, etc. So heart filled with gratitude, you know, filled with gratitude. Then you don't feel tired of going to work, you know, rather accumulate merit like that, you see. Then in the job or in the family, if anybody give you a hard time, you say, it's my opportunity to practice patience, you know, or there's family members or friends that you always need to spend so much money. It's my opportunity to practice generosity. You know, everything turn into Dharma. You can do like that, especially those, you know, who need to raise family, you know, children, you know, so much expenses, you know, but you take that as a Bodhisattva's way of life, making charity, extensive charity. Without perfecting charity, you cannot become Buddha. Now these children is like Buddha's emanation, giving me opportunity to perfect myself in the practice of 6 paramita. These children who is like always give me problem is truly special as my guru, who is perfecting me to perfect the practice of 6 paramita of patience, and so, etc. like that, you see. Then at the end of the day, okay, then you just have a glance through your day activities. If you really done well, you rejoice. There's a teaching that if you rejoice to your own merits, you see, you accumulate what's that? The 50% of the same amount, the 50% from the amount of merit that you accumulate. So you rejoice this like that. You accumulate so much merit, then you rejoice in others' merit, other sentient beings' merit. You also earn so much merit. And your heart filled with rejoicing the Buddha's merit, Bodhisattva's merit, unbelievable. It's almost like you have no room to get angry. You have no room to be negative at all. Your heart is completely filled with, there's no time to think bad, do bad thing, isn't it? Then at the end, if in case accidentally you have done something wrong, then you do some purifications. You recite Vajrasattva mantra, or you do open practice, which I will discuss more detail later. Then those of you tantric practitioner, when you go to bed, then you do like 3 kayas practice. Like taking the sleeping yoga, or the clear light practice, when you go to bed, because usually the clear light practice is the actual, practice comes when the natural clear light occurs, when we pass away. So going into sleep is similar like dying, like our senses will be gradually shut down, and it will go into all the way to the deeper level of our mind. So you use that as to meditate on the process of clear light, then go into bed, and day to day you do that until that you're able to take not only sleeping onto the path, but dream onto the path. Not only dream onto the path, but the waking up onto the path. So sleep, dream, wake up yoga. There's an extensive teaching out there. You can utilize that. You see. Now you go to the next day, you repeat the same thing. So where got chance to get angry? Isn't it? Thank you. So we stop here. And yes, thank you. So I think we have only short, what we do is, sure. Or maybe I will recite this prayer, short one. Today we will end a bit quicker. So I heard that you need to clear up the hole. So what I do is maybe I do in not in the text, but I will just guide the dedication. Okay, guide the dedication while I'm speaking, so you can just reflect on it. So just simply dedicate like this: whatever merit we accumulate from this session, whatever merit we accumulate in the past, present, future, or merit of all the Buddhas, all the gurus, may it be complete cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsara suffering. It is cause of karma and delusion, actualized from temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness and enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause, or anyone who pass away be free from suffering or death, suffering in intermediate state, suffering or rebirth, actualize high realm in the Buddha's pure realm. May this collective merit be complete cause. Anyone who is sick, anyone who is going through any sort of trouble, relationship trouble, financial troubles, health issues, may our collective merit be complete cause to overcome that and enjoy the life with meaning of life, etc. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the beneficial beings in the world, like such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all your spiritual gurus, yourself, your family members, always enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause, all the virtuous institutions like monasteries, nunneries, then all the Dharma centers, then especially Kunsan Initiative Center, be free from inner outer sphere obstacle, actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the Dharma in extensive learning, and as well as actualize all the realization on the stages of the path. Also, may this collective merit be complete cause. May our most precious Guru Kyabje Lama Sopa, which is, sweep return of unmistaken reincarnation and carry on the Rinpoche's Bodhisattva's legacy for the preservation of Dharma and for the benefit of all sentient beings. May days be auspicious, may nights be auspicious, may every single moment be auspicious. Thank you. So this is today's dedication. Thank you. Thank you.